Hi, I'm Jeremy from Craft Brewing, and what I'm going to do here for you is just show you really quickly how I like to sanitize a keg prior to racking beer into it. So all you need for this is basically, of course, your CO2 tank, regulator. I've got two kegs here. One is filled with Star San. The other one is the empty, cleaned keg. I used PBW on it, rinsed it out really nicely. It's ready to go. And then I've got just a little jumper cable here, which is just some rubber tubing with the liquid disconnects, quick disconnects on both ends of that. So all you need to do is just take your gas line and you just fire it onto your Star San keg. Give it a little pressure. Take your liquid jumper tube here, fire it on that, and so outpost to outpost, get it on there. The only trick is make sure you pop open the pressure release valve on the destination keg, the one that you're going to sanitize. Somewhere around 5 pounds of pressure on the regulator is good. Then I just turn it right off. You're not going to need it. It's got enough going into there right now. I'm picking this up here. I can tell that there's probably at least a couple of quarts of Star San in there, which is more than enough. So at that point, I usually just take my gas off because I'm not going to need it on that keg anymore. Just disconnect the Star San jumper here. Make sure to close this valve. If you don't, you're about to get a bunch of Star San on the floor, which will sort of suck. Now all I'm going to do is make sure to coat all the insides here. I don't like to do that over the sink. Okay, so as I mentioned before, make sure that everything's all sealed up here. Your lid's on properly, your pressure release valve is closed. Make sure if you've been cleaning your kegs out, which you better do, that everything's secured back on there tightly. And then you just turn her upside down. Look, okay, nice little seal there. And then I just like to kind of rock it, turn. Just make sure that you're coating everything on the inside, getting that beautiful Star San in there doing its thing. And that's it. Alright, so I've got my sanitized keg here. It still has a decent quantity of Star San inside of it. So now what I want to do is get it out of this keg because I don't need to dilute my beer with a bunch of Star San. Depending on what you're doing, like what I'm doing today, because I only need this keg sanitized, is I'm going to just jump it right back into this keg, the Star San dedicated keg. However, guys like Ty, who like to brag about how much beer he produces, you can line all your kegs up that need sanitized at one time and just jumper, just keep going, keg to keg to keg, and then when you're done that, wind it back in your Star San keg, because it is good. For many uses, again, it's just all about the pH. Make sure you stay below 3.5. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bleed the pressure out of the destination Star San keg. I'll just hook up my my liquid out to out and then hit the gas on the keg that has all the Star San in it at the moment. Yeah, you see it's flowing back in there right now. Take a minute to get it all in there. And here, finally at the end of the line, you see all that beautiful foams coming back out. At this point, you're good to disconnect your gas. Give it a second, just get as much out as you can. It's not a big deal. Again, the foam's not going to be any sort of a problem. In fact, I like to leave a little bit of the foam in there because then as you're siphoning beer into this, that foam is actually going to be up on the top and almost in a way kind of create a bit of a protective barrier for you. So that there is it. Once my Star San is all back in the Star San keg, I just like to get a little bit of pressure in there. Always keep it pressurized because I do like to use this. I'll throw a quick liquid disconnect on there connected to a picnic tap. I can use that for just sanitizing things or dispensing Star San or whatever I want to do. That's nice and handy. This keg is now good to go. Sanitized. Beautiful.